happening over in the AFC. Justin Fields leaving the Steelers for the Jets and reuniting with former Buckeye teammate Garrett Wilson. They played 2 seasons together in Columbus, going to the CFP title game in 2020 where they lost to Alabama. Today, Wilson talked about his future.
They don't happen fast, honestly. I really didn't hear much leading up, and then all of a sudden it was done, man. So, just a big smile going on your face. It's someone that I'm familiar with, someone that I have a great relationship with, someone that I love just watching them play. Like, just since I met Justin, it's been a pleasure to line up alongside of him. And then when I'm on the sideline, like, I just got to watch him. I didn't think we'd get this opportunity on this level, so it's exciting. I'm still taking it in all the way. It's cool. It's cool. We've been definitely, picking up where we left off.
By the way, if you look at Wilson's career, very brief in the NFL, he's caught a lot of different quarterbacks, and now he's familiar here with Justin Fields. How do you see this playing out for the Jets with Justin Fields under center?
Well, look, Aaron Glenn came in, and when he was even interviewing with the Jets, they were talking about quarterback plans, and he was mentioning Justin Fields, having gone up against him in Chicago when he was with Detroit for all these years. So they get their guy, they get him on a contract that doesn't break the team financially in any way, and it actually opens the door for contract extensions for guys like Sauce Gardner and Garrett Wilson. Justin Fields came in, and he was going to the Jets. Now, look, the Steelers, they might have had conversations at one point, but this was like Jets from the start. He's there. Wilson is a familiar face. I'll tell you this, I was skeptical on the Jets this season. I was saying, all right, it's a redo year, it's a restart, after the Rodgers experiment. 100% participation yesterday at OTAs. Justin Fields saying all the right things, Garrett Wilson saying all the right things, Aaron Glenn saying all the right things, and Quinnen Williams yesterday, who immediately reacted to Aaron Rodgers not being brought back and went on Twitter, came back and said, that was immature of me, and I wish I hadn't done it, and I've spoken with Coach Glenn, and I'm fired up. Feels like it's a different culture in New York right now, and it's not just being led by one man who was under center last year.
And by the way, it's the Aaron Glenn effect as well. You will see that continue with this team. And, Peter Schrager deserves a lot of credit joining us less than 24 hours after what we saw at MSG. A diehard Knicks fan, still in mourning, still in shock after watching his Knicks lose in overtime. Thank you, Peter.
Really nice. Thanks so much for that.
Those online of Travis Hunter. There you see Trevor Lawrence tossing a few. Let's watch this break from Hunter. A little out pattern here, and that looks all right.
Smooth.
That's not bad. Not bad. Trevor Lawrence talking today about the new system, the new head coach, Liam Cohen.
I really like the people we have here now. I love the system. I love the staff, the players that we brought in along with the guys that were already here. I feel very confident in where we're going and the trajectory we're heading. Can't change the past, Of course, I would love to have a little more success up until this point, to answer your question. Yeah, of course. But, the reality is this is where we're at, and I love where we're at, and I got a lot of confidence in it, and we just got to keep putting the work in out here every day to prepare ourselves for the fall.
Well, Duval isn't going to want to see this, because when you compare Trevor Lawrence to Daniel Jones over their first 60 starts, the numbers are frighteningly similar. Yet Trevor's still thought of as a franchise QB, still hope he's the savior of the Jaguars franchise, and Jones was cast off by the Giants, now with the Colts, trying to beat out Anthony Richardson for the starting job there. As you look at some of the notable quarterback battles we'll see playing out over the summer, 4-way battle in Cleveland, 3-way battle with the New York Giants, and the Steelers, they wouldn't have a battle if Aaron Rodgers would decide to join. Let's go through these competitions with Lige Douzable and Mike Renner. And guys, we're going to start with the Indianapolis Colts, where Anthony Richardson has been unable to stay healthy for the majority of his first 2 seasons. Would it benefit them at all to have Daniel Jones come in and just win this job week 1? Who do you think does it?
I believe Daniel Jones does win the job. He had an opportunity as a free agent to go to multiple teams, maybe even re-sign with the Minnesota Vikings, but he was given this opportunity to start because it is going to be an open quarterback battle between Anthony Richardson. And usually when you go to a team, a guy is picked in the top 5, he's going to be your franchise quarterback. But to your point, Anthony Richardson has struggled to stay healthy. Also commitment issues, right? Last year he comes out and says, I'm tired and have to come off the field for a play, which, again, those offensive linemen have to be looking at him him crazy when he came back on the field after saying, I just needed a break. You don't think we need a break after each single play? So Daniel Jones right there, you see his record the last couple of years, 2022. That's the reason why he got paid, right?
Did you ever ask out? Did you ever say I need out, Coach?
No, I never. Now we have a nice rotation on D-line, but I never asked to come out of the game. Like
I'm tired. I need a little break.
Exactly. You're not supposed to do that. Everybody's tired when they're playing in the NFL. But as a quarterback, everybody has to believe that you're the leader and that you're willing to go through the foxhole and the fire with them. And that doesn't prove that when you're taking yourself out of the game. So I ultimately believe Daniel Jones will win this job just because Anthony Richardson has had 2 years. He's been banged up, and he hasn't been consistent throwing the football.
I completely disagree. I think Daniel Jones winning this job is the worst thing if you're an Indianapolis Colts fan. Just, you know what his ceiling is. His ceiling is not good enough. His ceiling is 9 wins, maybe 10 wins. And that's just not.
You don't think he could
get you to the playoffs, though?
You know, you had the Baker Mayfield, you had the Sam Darnold, a resurgence like Geno Smith.
I don't see it whatsoever with Daniel Jones. You just never seen flashes of high-level play. The highest level play he had was as a runner in New York. Like that 1 year where they had 9 wins, it was because he did a lot with his legs. Well, Anthony Richardson's even better in that regard. So if you're really leaning into that, you're probably still going to want Anthony Richardson. He just hasn't played a ton of football. That was the whole thing on him coming out. He was a 1-year starter in a run-heavy offense there at Florida. The guy needs the reps, and if he hasn't, obviously, if Daniel Jones is better, yeah, he should get the job, but that is the nightmare scenario if you're a Colts fan.
Well, this is my pushback. If you're a Colts receiver, who do you want starting at quarterback? Anthony Richardson, who has struggled to throw you the ball, or Daniel Jones, who's actually been to a playoff game and has a 63 completion percentage for his career?
Is there a third option?
There's not a third option. There's not a third option.
Mike, let me ask you this. What about the Giants? And there are so many interesting quarterback rooms and personality-driven quarterback rooms here. You get Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, and now you have Jackson Dart in the mix. Now, Brian Daboll has said repeatedly it's Russ's job to lose. He's going to take first-team reps. He's going to start week 1. But how much could things change over the course of the season?
I bet
in the summer?
I bet they don't. I bet it's Russell's until basically the season or until he gets hurt. I doubt they change course. I bet it is him through and through. Jackson Dart, coming from that Ole Miss offense, it was so gimmicky. It does not prepare you for the NFL. He's going to struggle or need that seasoning coming in. But Russell Wilson, the biggest selling point for him compared to Jameis, compared to Daniel Jones, who just left. He doesn't fumble. He doesn't throw it to the other team. He's not going to turn the ball over. Yeah, he may take some bad sacks, but he's a good deep ball thrower to a offense that has 2 great deep ball wide receivers in Darius Slayton and Malik Neighbors. So it pairs well enough. And again, he's not going to go out and lose you games. This is a defense-first football team at this point with that defensive line. He at least gives you that chance to win those.
Yeah, I believe Mr. Unlimited, Russell Wilson, will be the starting quarterback. Let's not forget, just last year, he helped the Pittsburgh Steelers get to the playoffs. To Mike's point, the issue in New York is their quarterbacks have turned the football over. Russell Wilson is synonymous with not turning it over. Now, he will take some sacks, which is an issue, and he'll hold on to the ball too long. But I believe this is a scenario that we do see Jackson Dart, Amanda, and because they have a gauntlet of a schedule. Their first 12 games, 8 of those are versus teams that made the playoffs.